Question: will you ever decide to call a place home? Right now, this chair I'm sitting on is my home, and this truck that's driving by is my neighbor, and ruining this video. But home for us and family is everything. It's where we happen to be living life. We've really just expanded our reality, our perspective, and realized there's great people living all over the world. Anywhere we go, it's kind of you stop and say, wait, this is their life. I was out running the other day, trail running up to this big old loop, and I came into this cool market, really indigenous people, and I just felt like I was just looking on at their life. I'm like, this is their life. This is what they do. This is their daily grind. Like, this is awesome. I want to live here. I want to experience this. So home for us is wherever we are. We just kind of settle in. We make friends. We love the people. We love the place, and just experience what it has to offer. We don't go in saying, I sure hope this is like America. We go in saying, whatever it has to offer, we want to learn from it, embrace and accept. We love it.
That being said,
yes, we're all about growing stuff, gardens and animals. I really want to have.
We definitely have a personal interest in having a home, a place that's ours, I guess.
A little homestead.
Our little library and our garden and all of that.
And our little animals, and we're raising chickens and really raising all this produce in a place that's self-sufficient and independent. Yeah, we want to have those. But our problem is, particularly mine, I love change. I love it. I love seeing a new place. I'm like, oh, I love this place, but I'm sure there's other places I'm going to love too. So we want to have a homestead everywhere.
I think, we don't have that now because, being Americans and coming from the States, having that is almost like a full-time commitment because it's very expensive and, consuming of your resources. And so when we were in the States, we couldn't have that and travel. We had to choose. We had to choose either we travel or we have the mortgage and have, all of that goes with it.
May I say there's a huge exchange rate often for having that. And we got to really step outside of that reality and ask some bigger and better questions and say, is this really what I want? Is it really mine, or am I going to be anchored to it for the next 30 years? Or is this really what we want? Do we want to have this place? Or do we ever have to have a place? Just ask some different questions. Some people say, no, you never have to. Just travel the earth and enjoy life and see it all and grow and learn, experience, and rent a place here and then rent a place there and grow your garden, have a little piece of land. Or there's ways to buy pieces of land all over the place, and you have a little homestead here and a little homestead here, and there's ways to do it very inexpensively.
And I think that's where we're at now. I think we will have a place sometime, but it will be done in a way that's different than what we've grown up with. It's going to be something where we're going to own it free and clear. We're going to, probably build it ourselves, something like that. And so that it's not an anchor, it's not a burden to us. It's still, it gives us that aspect of life, but also gives us the freedom to continue with traveling and, changing when we want and all of that. So
for us, it'll function more like a base camp where we can come back, we can get access to our library and our animals and our crops.
Pick some vegetables.
And, pick some fresh veggies, eat a salad, and settle in, rest for a little bit, and then back on the road, back out exploring and growing and learning.
Right.
And have if I could wave a magic wand, I'll have multiple places like that around the world. And you can do it for so cheap.
Yeah.
There's so many ways around that.
We are seeing so many options. Being out in other countries, being here in Guatemala specifically, we're seeing so many options that we can do that and not be tied to it, not be bound down to it, and you can set all that up. You can have a caretaker take care of it, so while you're away, it's being watched over and taken care of, and come back when you want. That's probably one of the options.
My number one question always, whenever I think about it, land or a house, number one always, is it a cage or an anchor, or is it an asset? And you've got to think through that. And what's the exchange rate? Is this going to bind me here and limit me from doing other things I want to do, or is it going to be a huge asset that's really going to help our family accomplish our dreams and goals and desires?
Give us more of what we want rather than limiting some of our freedoms and some of the other things that we want.
Stop it.
I feel really thirsty.
Me too.